he needs to shut the fuck up. Like, for real, he real live should shut the fuck up. That's all the problem is. He shouldn't talk as much as he should. And I know that coming from somebody like me, because I talk a lot, okay? And speaking a lot has gotten me into a lot of trouble. And this baby just needs to he just needs to stop talking. Stop talking. Just don't say nothing. Do your job. Keep your head down. That's it.
That's it.
Because he might be all right at his actual job. And I'm not saying he'll say wild shit to piss people off. And I don't know nothing about this man or anything, but I did read a couple of the little orders, and they was, pretty decent. And that was just coming from me. So I'm just saying that if this baby could just do his job and he's good at his job, he should just be quiet. That's it. Just be quiet.
That's all he needs to do at this point, because it's like so in bleach thing.
We don't need that. I'm just, look, all I'm saying.
I'm just lost.
Nobody should, I'm just happy that there are not any reports that people.
I pray that it don't be none. Because, I mean, at this point, I mean, like, seriously, is this, these days are a joke. like, what's going on in the world should be a movie, like a comedy movie at this point. And I say that because not so much the deaths, not that part. Rest in peace to all those that passed away from it. But the shit that's going on in the presidential part, like the shit that transpired since Trump actually said, okay, we're going to declare a state of emergency. Since then,
well,
what the fuck?
You know what I want to do? I can't wait to read. You know, I got so many things on my schedule and stuff, but I can't wait to really read about what those laws are, because what could he have done differently, right? Like, we probably think there are a lot of things that he could have probably did differently, but that's probably us just thinking from what we think we know and not everything that's involved.
No intricate detail,
and we don't necessarily know them. And I know it sounds like, all right, well, she must be on the side. Like, I don't give a fuck about him or none of them other people. Like, I don't. What I am concerned about is, though, if you got some shit that's going around the entire country, why everybody ain't following all the same damn rules at the same damn time, starting from, that's it. Like, that's it. You know, I get confused by the, non-unity United States. It don't make no sense to me.
Well, that's because, I mean, everybody has to be unified in following the person that is chosen to lead. And if everybody is not on the same page with that, if half of the United States looking at him like a buffoon, who is going to listen to what this buffoon has to say? And let's just be real about it. Was you, if you knew your boss was a buffoon leading you down a one-way street, would you follow? Even though the rule says that you have to follow your boss or whatever the case may be.
Who made up them rules?
I'm just saying, unify, everybody doing the same thing, So if your boss is a buffoon and going down a one-way street and about to crash yourself, that's who you chose to work for.
He the first one gonna crash yourself. Like, hey, that's what I believe. But let me do. I get what you're saying. Like, don't even think that I think. But in reality, my leaders that I have ever thought of as leaders, they brown, and only one of them is Jai like here, and he just a Jai like here because he accomplished some amazing ass shit. You know what I'm saying? So without that sense of hope, then our brown boys and girls might not think they could ever be the president. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that they are able to have that as an option.
Right.
And also, Malcolm and Martin, them the only folks I know as leaders. Now, there may be some other leaders, and I'm not saying that there aren't. I'm just saying they're not mine because they haven't presented themselves to me. And I haven't seen where I want to follow them and their steps and everything that they do. And also think about when we had those two leaders, if you got these people right now dealing with leadership, and they're a little bit confused about how that thing works. You know, they got a whole civil rights era that they could go back to, where they had two brown men that were leaders in their own arenas, and they came together for a common goal, right? So until they figure that out up there, I don't really know how that works out, because they just like, no, this is what we supposed to do, and the other people like, no, this is what we gonna do, and nobody's like, hey, what about these people? What do they want us to do, kind of thing.
And that's the issue right there, because the issue is because someone holds that position, they believe that they know it all and that their way is bad. And the way they live should be implemented for the whole world, but the whole world was not. The whole world did not have the tools or the same upbringing as he did.
Right.
So that's what the whole issue is. You're making tax breaks and laws that benefit those that look like you and that have similar lifestyles and backgrounds as you. But for those other folks that didn't have that opportunity, where the fuck does that leave them? Because they are the majority.
Well, I don't know, Lena, because it's quite a few good brown folk out there that fit those same tax bracket, because taxes is money. Money don't change. Not just looking like that man. Them brown folk don't look like that man, but they money match.
That's what I'm saying. So even
that's a different circumstance.
Or their background, that's what I'm saying. So those laws only fit those people. So people like us, what the fuck do we do? That's what I'm saying. Because if these creating...
Now hold on. Now, if you talking about me personally, I literally know a lot of decisions that I could have made differently to change my current outcome, like right now. So we talking about me taking responsibility for myself. I can absolutely do that. However, I can also see where systematically there have been things in place to change, to make my thoughts be what they are, and now we've been educated improperly. We learned the wrong stuff, is what they saying now. Okay, well, I don't know how much I agree with that. When I was 18, 20 years old, I was working with the youth. I worked at a nonprofit organization. I went to Tennessee with the CDC to do freedom schools. I knew the importance of Black education. I was all about the people, you know what I'm saying? So learning from Tony Browder and people like that, I got all of that information. Black power, boom, boom. Here's the problem. My peers, though, they didn't all get that.
And right? That's my point right there.
And they did not all get that. And I was thinking that everybody was getting this information. So when they were doing things a little differently, other than the information that I was provided, this wholesome information, think about your actions, conflict resolution, think about your ancestors. They proud of you. You know, Black excellence, even back then, 20 years ago. This ain't a new concept. It was done back 20 years ago. So when I think about those things, I'm just like, yeah, well, I kind of dropped the ball on that one. But then you think about people that, a lot of hip hop rappers, they come from that part of that bad part that came through. And we can't negate that. Like, we got them because of that. So if we talking about who's done what and who's culpable and who's responsible, I'm not really sure what we doing with it.
But even with the rap game, if the rap game was wrapped up to way it was the way shown, or where the way folks think it is, like, oh, once you make a couple of songs, now you rolling in dough, then we wouldn't have the shows unsung. We wouldn't have that show, or I forgot the other shows that when shit hit the fan, behind the story and all those different things, because everybody making millions. Ain't no fucking story. They made a song, they made money, they rolling in dough, life is good, they in a different tax bracket, you know, they moved up in the world. No. No. It's only a few, I ain't gonna say a few, but there's only a selected few that's brown that actually make it, like actually make it. It's one thing to have people singing your songs, but that don't pay your bills.
Right.
And so a lot of us look at the videos and the fake, the bling and all that fake stuff that they do on the Instagram and think that they falling, but come out 5 years later on song like, oh nah, had to get that shit back. Like, oh nah, I just bought that one chain. I was only about able to bought that one chain. I haven't seen no royalties since. I had to pay this and that and this and that and this studio and that video and this tour and blah. I live with my mom in the trailer park right now. Like, so.
But isn't that what makes them the greatest ones, though? Because
yeah, but what
that adversity,
right? But that's the truth, though. But at all that they be the greatest one, but that don't mean the money match. That's all I'm saying. It's good that, like I said, that you resonate with the population and the people of your culture and the people that's not in your culture. But if the funds don't match that, and you didn't waste it, or not waste it, but you didn't put 5, 10, 15 years of your life into something thinking that it was gonna pay off and it didn't, then you back with us regular folks.
Well, I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you put 5, 10, 15, 20 years into something and it didn't work, then you probably put the wrong amount of time into it.
Because it could be the people around you that mooch you. You thinking that because it's been like that.
No, that means literally you learned no lessons in 20 years. Like none whatsoever. So that's on you. There's no way you put in effort, work hard, dedication, everything for 20 years with something that you're supposed to be doing that's designed for you and you don't succeed in it. I don't see how that happens. That's just me, though. Along the way, you're going to learn something. And I hope that either you learn that that's not your craft or you meet the people to stir you in the right direction. Because you might think, and that's again, it's about that mindset. You might think you literally want to be a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
You might just want to have the lifestyle. You can have a lifestyle of a rapper without being a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
That's possible. You see what I'm saying? But if you don't think that through and you think that your only avenue to get that lifestyle is to be a rapper, then you put yourself into something that you don't even know what the fuck you're doing anyway. So you're not going to exceed at it. So in 20 years of you rapping, of course you haven't succeeded. You're doing something you have no business doing. And I guarantee you saw some signs along the way that said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and step out of it. Because who in the fuck is going to keep doing something over and over and over again with no level of success at all? Like, I don't see how that works. But that's just me. I mean, I've only set really small goals that I've reached too. You know, I set out to have a baby. I got one. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't my choice. I mean, I ain't asked for the baby. He asked for the baby. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I agreed and I said, okay, what's the best way to get this baby? Like, how we going to hurry up and make it happen? Did some research, figured it out because I was dedicated to making sure that it happened. It got accomplished.
Right.
A long time ago, I said, hey, I need me a day job. I'm tired of working these shifts. I need me a day job so that I can get some security and stability. Boom, got that job. Stayed there 13 years. That's a long time. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I personally think when you put your mind on something, you say, hey, I'm about to do it, and you do it, you see the level of success along the way. And if you don't grab them lessons, then I don't know. I know about not grabbing lessons.
And the good thing about that, all that just you said, which is correct. But see, you didn't wake up like that. You didn't wake up saying that I know that when some shit happens, I get a lesson from it. I'm supposed to learn from whether it's something good or bad happens. I'm supposed to fucking learn from it. When I do something, I'm supposed to reap some type of benefits into it. And when I put time and energy into something, I'm supposed to receive something back or whatever the case may be. You didn't wake up with that. You had the good old mother that instilled those things in you. Maybe not all those lessons. Some things we had to learn on ourselves on repeat mode. Definitely on repeat mode. But someone had to teach you that and to let you know that you're worthy of whatever it is that you set your mind on, or you can obtain those things that you set your mind on, or how to obtain those things that you set your mind on, or even the fact that you have to set goals in order to start from somewhere in order to get to the next place. But not everybody is privileged to have those parents or that mother or that strong foundation to instill those qualities into that person or those kids or those children. So then what?
Well, you know what I love? I always know for real. Because this the most
I mean,
about it.
Because even with
somebody somewhere been successful. They've been successful to the level that you see. You have to see some type of level of success before you can even set your own level of success. So once you see that person, then you won't start looking at what they do, mimicking them and talking to them and getting some time and figuring it out. But along the way, again, like you said, I don't know how that works if you didn't have a foundation that says you need to pray or meditate or tell you that mental health is important. Like, even I'm talking about even from a young, even from a young age, mental health has always been the message of importance. So if you didn't get any of that, I can tell you what, I'm very glad that now it's okay for that to be the message. I'm grateful that we have so many celebrities speaking out about it, because wow, this thing, my biological mother, right? She used to watch this show called The Tracy Ullman Show, and she loved it. Tracy Ullman was this white woman that, do you know that show? No. Oh, you do. So tell the people about it then.
I can't remember all of it. I seen it before though, like a long time ago.
So basically, she did these skits. Like, you know how Dave Chappelle, he have all those different characters. Well, she was doing that like way back in the day, because you know, do that because you know. And so Joyce would basically say that she suffered from multiple personality disorder. And she would say, I know a thing about that. I know a thing or two about that. It's just say, like, live long enough, you will too. And I know a thing about that. I get it. I understand that, because I'm a firm believer. Everybody got a little bit of NPD.
I believe so too.
Point blank, period. Everybody do. It's just all about how you've been structured to manage it. That's it.
And recognize
everything else you got to get to it. What you say?
And recognize it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Recognition is the most important thing. But if you already telling your babies from a young age, though, even if they at some point neglect it, they know that they got something to go back to, right? Because you done already gave it to them. If you don't ever give it to them, then they don't have anything to go back to.
Right. That's the whole thing.
Now
we got to figure out a way to. I mean, I know it's probably some ways, but see, the issue is, it's like people create organizations and stuff, or motivations, or even, what's the word I want to use? All that we're talking about, even with mental health, setting goals, motivations, all the things that should be instilled into a child, you know, when they're young. You know, I feel as though there should be a unified thing that been taught to all children.
I agree.
That we all on one accord. Like it's a one organization that has whatever messages that's, you know, for the benefit of children, this, that, and third. But it's subdivisions in each state that is in charge of ensuring that all children in that state receive that knowledge, goals, whatever it is, whatever it is, like they receive it. I know that they may have like little organizations that's for certain communities. They do it in certain communities in certain states, but I don't feel as though it's organized on a larger playing field where every Black child or every child is getting that opportunity to make sure they getting that motivation, them goals, that mental health checkup, whatever the case may be. Like I need that.
Lena, are you serious right now? Listen, I'm not even trying to be funny. Do you know what that would take? That would take the highest of high authorities in the United States of America to admit to wrongdoings, admit that they fucked up, and figure out a way to fix their fuck up. Because what you're talking about is across the board. And so if we talking that every single Black, brown boy, every single child in the whole United States of America is learning accurate American history, then you talking about
not even American history, because then that will branch off into something else. Just knowing that mental health is prevalent.
But it would have to be across the board, and that means we would have to mandate it at the federal level.
Right,
and I think we're at that point anymore.
And that's what I'm saying. I think we should. I don't think
if you do that,
the whole slavery and all those things,
Lena,
I don't think we should.
If you do that, how do you justify that? How do you justify saying that?
You justify by the shootings of people that's going through mental health.
Where does the mental health come from, though? Where is it stimulating from?
What, as far as what?
The mental health issues. Where is it stemming from?
Who knows? Just know that it's there. We don't know what coronavirus stemmed from, but we know we need to treat it.
But what causes mental health issues, though?
Who knows? Whatever the state says, whatever the case may be, whatever the mandate is.
Saying that, okay, so we got to pick a side. So are we saying that we all have mental health issues, or are we saying that mental health issues occur when something takes place?
Both.
So if it could be either or, then that means it's just got to cover everybody in all instances.
As a whole, because
so then mental health...
because mental health, people look at mental health as a negative word, meaning like when you have mental health is associated with a title like ADHD, depression, this, that, and the third. No, mental health is making sure that your mind is healthy. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Just making sure your mind is healthy, making sure you're having the correct thought. Just making sure you good, making sure that you even able to identify if something is happening to you or whatever the case may be.
Tell me whether my thoughts is correct or not.
I'm talking about mass murderers.
I don't care who it is. Don't nobody get to tell nobody if their thoughts is right or not.
I think so.
Sorry, you ain't gonna be able to do that to me.
I think so. That's why we have psychiatrists. That's why we pay psychiatrists.
Nah, just because I don't think like 299 other motherfuckers don't mean I got a problem. That just means that I don't think like 200 other 90 motherfuckers.
No. I'm only talking about when it comes down to the safety of that person and the community around that person. So I don't mean like, oh, well, you thought about stealing today. Oh, that's wrong. We let you know that thought process is wrong. I mean, like, hey, I'm waking up and I want to go shoot up a church today.
Okay.
We let you know that.
So you're talking about so what you're
not right.
Okay, so you're talking about, oh, well, I thought you meant thoughts as a whole. That's
Oh, no.
like, ain't
I
nobody
mean
gonna tell
anything
me
that
about
would
you.
that will pose self-harm to that person or to the community around them.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the number one rule of life. Like, anybody should be held accountable to that. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do as long as you don't hurt nobody else intentionally. That's it. I don't see what the problem is. So when you say that, that makes it a little bit different.
You don't see what the problem is, but the problem is that no one, I mean, there's people out here that's not on the same page. Like you said, that's a universal thing. But why do we have school shootings then? Why do we have cops killing people that thinking that they're trying to
Because them
resist
babies,
arrest, but they just have mental health issues? If that's
because
the
did
case,
nobody want? Oh, did nobody want to point out that them babies had issues? Them babies ain't just grow up like that.
That's my whole point. That brings me back to my whole point. Had there been a universal thing, maybe a commercial that says, "Hey, this is mental health. Mental health is blase blase blue." Just something to take off the bad stigma with the word mental health. Like, soon as people see the word mental health, they automatically think, oh, crazy. Like I said, associated with a title, associated with something bad, or whatever the case may be, unless you're actually dealing with mental health, and then you did the research and you know, obviously, mental health is mental health. But for those people that haven't identified as not woke to mental health or haven't dealt with people with mental health, they look at it as an issue. Mental health equals you're crazy. Like,
Right now?
yes.
No.
Yes, you're crazy. Yes, something's wrong. And I'm like, no, don't call me crazy because I have issues that I'm working out in my mental, okay, that I'm able to identify to say, hey, I know these are issues and I'm actively working on those issues. That's not crazy.
Yeah,